Hello everyone, welcome to the Teacher Track 2 webinar for how to enter performance data into Teacher Track 2. My name is Nicole, I work on the talent sourcing team. I've met many of you at training. I just want to go through this pretty quickly, it's not that long, to let you guys know exactly what you need to do step by step for entering performance concerns. Sorry, not performance concerns, all performance data into Teacher Track 2. The first thing that I want to do is, sorry, I'm going to back up here. When you log into Teacher Track 2, this is the screen that you're going to see. You will actually be a list of all of the groups for the entire summer training here, so you want to make sure you pick the one that identifies you as the primary leader, so go ahead and click on that. And the first thing I want to do is walk you through how to take attendance. So the first thing you do to take attendance is you go to meetings, and you'll see here that there's a meeting. There should be a meeting for every day of pre-service training. I only created 2 here for the purposes of the webinar. You go over here to the right-hand side of the screen and you click Edit Attendance. And here is a list of all of your fellows. So the fellows will actually have names when you are doing this in Teacher Track 2, so they'll be much easier to identify. One thing I want to point out that it's extremely important that you enter attendance in a timely and accurate fashion. It's a lot of work on the back end for us if you aren't able to do that, but fellows also look at that to check their attendance, so it's really important that that's extremely up to date. You should be entering attendance for them every single day. As you can see here, you can mark them present if they're present. You can mark them tardy, and this little box pops up. So I just want to clarify that any instance of lateness is considered not meeting expectations, and all teachers need to be present and on time for their students each day. The same is true for fellows. Adding the number of minutes late is just helpful context for us in the office to understand the significance of the concern. The protocol, however, is the same for all instances of lateness. And then if the fellow is absent, you click on absent. I will ask that if they're absent, you will add in any notes such as the fellow let me know they were sick today or something along those lines. If a fellow misses field experience for an interview, they're permitted to miss 1 field experience per week to go on interviews. You should mark them as present, but go ahead and make a note in this box that they were not there because of an interview. Once you've entered your attendance for the day, you want to click Submit. Now we're going to walk through how to enter performance data for fellows. So you click on the Members tab, and this is where you're going to be entering their performance in the instructional framework, the Teach Like a Champion techniques, as well as a level 1, 2, or 3 concern. Technique ratings are going to be entered in the second to last week of pre-service training or following the technique assessment sessions. FYIs are entered as performance concerns arise, and they should be entered the same day as the incident occurs. So once you click on Members, you'll have a list of all of your fellows who will have actual names again. And one really good best practice that we suggest here is that you right-click on this and open a new tab. This is just going to make it a lot easier for you as you go through here, so you don't have to toggle back and forth all the time in between each fellow. So once you go into the fellows file, you'll see you can enter their framework evaluations, their techniques here, and any performance concerns here. You also want to make sure that you're in the training tab. It automatically goes to that, but you want to double check. Let's walk through how to enter their instructional framework ratings. First, click on this button. First thing you want to do is make sure that you're identifying the appropriate week for entering in the ratings. Last year, it was a little bit confusing because we didn't have the dates, so we added those in to make things a little bit more clear. Just make sure that you're choosing the correct date, adding in your name, adding in the date that the observation took place, and then walking through and rating them on the components. So you'll rate them 1 through 3, pre-novice, novice, or emerging. As you can see, they're listed up here to help you remember. Next thing you're going to enter in here is the primary development area for the fellow. So these align to the rubrics. You can see here that they're all listed here. You can find the one at the primary development area. You can identify a secondary development area, and then you're going to provide next steps. So you should keep in mind that this is fellow facing and it's to be used as a tool for the fellow. So you want to address this next steps next steps box as though you're actually addressing it to the fellow. You can use this as a way to follow up on your conversation about their development, add any helpful hints in or reminders or anything else you think would be helpful to the fellow. Once you're done with that, you want to hit save and not submit. So be sure that when you are doing any of these ratings and entering them in, that you're not hitting submit. We need to do quality control in our office. So the important thing is that when you hit submit, it becomes fellow facing immediately. And so it's really important that you hit save so that we can do the quality control, and then we'll actually do a bulk submit from our office. Okay, so once you've completed that, you're done with entering their framework ratings. And we should move on to going through how to enter their technique ratings. So here is the techniques tab. Just click on that. Then you want to hit add technique rating. You're going to be selecting the correct week or session. The dates are here to help you remember which is which. And here we have all the the techniques here. You rate them on them just as you did with the instructional framework. Enter the date. You want to make sure that you're identifying if you're a coach or fellow advisor, and then put your name. And again, you're going to be hitting save here, not submit, so that we can do quality control in our office. Finally, I want to walk you through how to enter performance concerns in a teacher track 2. So you want to click on the performance tab. And just again, to keep this in mind that you're in the training tab for all of these, you have the option of adding an FYI or adding a performance improvement plan. So let's click on add an FYI and walk through that. Again, I want to remind you guys that we should be entering these in on the same day that they're observed. It's just really important that we're getting it all in there, both so that it's fresh in your mind and so that our office can make sure to know about it as soon as it happens. So choose your name, the date that it's observed, the level of concern, so that's level 1, level 2, or level 3. If you don't totally remember what those are, there's a document in your handbook that we have included that gives you more detail on exactly what those levels are and what they look like. There's immediate intervention by staff. I would caution against using this liberally because it actually causes us to intervene immediately. These should be used for level 3 concerns, and then if there's just anything going on that you feel like NYCTF should be intervening with. Here you want to go through and give a detailed description of what happened, what the concern was, or what the behavior of the fellow was. We urge you to use really objective language here. So one way that we say that's a really good way to do that is to quote the fellow directly as much as possible. That way you can be sure that you're being as objective as possible in tone. One other thing to keep in mind is that the fellow will not be seeing this, but it's really important that you're clear, really specific, and that you are objective in tone. It's possible that when you're writing the incident down on the top box that you actually include how you responded up there, so it's not necessary for you to repeat that. You can just hit see above in this box. However, if it's a level 2 concern, you have to have a follow-up email that you just send to the fellow, and you need to copy and paste that here. Once again, you will be hitting save and not submit because we do quality control on performance data as well. The last thing I want to walk you guys through is how to enter a performance improvement plan. So you want to make sure that you're entering your name, obviously, and the date. You won't be entering any performance improvement plans for professionalism. That's what our office actually does those, but you will be doing components. So you select the component. You can select more than one. And then you can go through here and see that these boxes have kind of specific language associated with them. The reason for that is there's actually a performance improvement plan template that we provide you guys, and you're going to be using that to enter the information in here. It's really important that you use the template all the time because, one, the fellow is going to be seeing this, so we want to ensure that it's consistent. The other thing is that the language in the PIP should be the same for all fellows that have performance improvement plans, but also so that the fellow can use it to their best advantage as they develop. So be sure that you're just copying and pasting from the performance improvement plan template right into Teacher Track 2. And again, you're going to hit save when you're done with this, not submit, so that we can do quality control, and then you're done entering a performance improvement plan. So that's pretty much everything. I'm recording this webinar and we can send it to you along with a guide that includes screenshots from each of these sections. I encourage you to review the webinar in PowerPoint prior to entering data into TT2. It's just really important that your data entry is accurate and entered consistently. This is going to streamline the process both for us, and otherwise, if it's not this streamlined, we end up having to follow up with you guys quite a bit throughout the summer. But fellows are also going to be expecting to see their ratings in Teacher Track 2 posted within a certain time frame, so it's really important that you are doing this diligently. Thank you for listening to the webinar, and I hope you have a great day.